Over the past couple of days, I've been lucky enough to experience a game called Saints Row 4 firsthand. The game initially inspired confidence, as it felt more like a retrospective than something entirely new in my life. Yes, I had played this game before when I was around 11 to 13 years old. Although my first encounter with it was impressive, it feels different now as a legitimate user of Steam platform, as I represent myself as. I decided to have a deeper look and publish a review of it on YouTube.
We're gonna kill a lot of aliens.
Yep, I did that.
But wait, can you actually do all of these things in the game? Oh, let's find out.
One thing we can do is get revenge.
Wait, let's take it step by step here. Let's roll back into 2013. An era of iconic titles like The Last of Us, the seemingly indestructible Dota 2, and of course the most notable of them all, Grand Theft Auto 5. It was around this time that Saints Row 4 was released, a game that didn't quite live up to fans' expectations. After all, who really enjoys stepping out of their comfort zone and trying something new? In reality, it's not just fan bases that are the greatest source of conservatism. That tendency affects anyone constantly searching for themselves. But that's besides the point. After all, we're here to figure out what Saints Row 4 actually is. I'll sum up the lore in a few words, since it didn't really grab me, although it's represented with the virtuoso sense of humor. The Saints gang take over the White House, but Earth is invaded by the alien Zinniak. He traps the boss in a virtual version of Steelport, but the protagonist gains superpowers, wreaks havoc inside the simulation, and ultimately saves the world. Both this game and the previous installment really love to reward the player, which isn't something you see in every game. After almost every completed mission, you're giving something new, whether it's a vehicle, a customization option, or a new contact in your phone. Alright guys, change of plans. You need to fly back home. Which brings us straight to the next layer, the game's economy. Just like in the previous installment, there's plenty to spend your money on, primarily customization, weapons and their upgrades, which means economy works perfectly great. The player itself is placed inside a simulation and is given 8 superpowers, which you can see on the screen right now. They're powerful and let you do pretty much anything you want. But that's just the core. The gameplay is mixed up with the story missions that throw player into all kinds of scenarios. You will pilot a massive mech, fly a fighter jet, and even use a presidential arsenal of weapons. And in this chaotic gameplay mix, the game even tries to hit you with a nostalgia by creating a mission, 8-bit style. And you might think, what could possibly make the game better? And it already is, when it's packed up with just about every kind of content. At times it even took me back to Prototype, which had a similar gameplay foundation, though represented in much more serious ways. In many ways, Prototypes comes out on top not because of over-the-top chaos like in Saints Row 4, but because it feels more polished overall, making it smoother, weightier, and more immersive. Saints Row 4, on the other hand, can feel rougher around the edges in terms of execution, even though it offers far more content than Prototype. Unlike Prototype, Saints Row 4 has an undeniable advantage: co-op. And that co-op is practically immortal since there are no officially funded servers. Instead of it, it uses a P2P connection system where one player hosts and the other joins. Even now you can buy the game, jump into matchmaking or create a lobby and play with your friends. It's sad to realize that everything eventually comes to an end. sometimes even things that never really had the chance to begin. Take Volition, for example, which was shut down on August 31, 2023. We're living in a time when many projects that once settled in people's hearts, like Saints Row, Prototype, Supreme Commander, and Watch Dogs, may never see the light of the day again, simply because they didn't pay off financially. Even virtual love, at times, ultimately, comes down to money.